Hi everybody. So I just want to do a quick review of a couple of short stories, vampire related short stories that I read recently. And the anthology is called New Blood, and it came out in 2010. And it has a lot of names that I recognize, which is why I grabbed it. And it was only like $1.24, so you can't go wrong with a dollar anthology from Kindle. And two of the names that I recognize, and actually the reason I picked it up was I was looking for some more work from Linda Addison, who I got to see speak at a conference. I wasn't there in person, it was done online this year. And she seemed like a really interesting writer, so I just wanted to read more of her stuff. And also turns out Jonathan Mayberry was in this anthology too. So I realized I don't think I've been connected with him on Facebook for a couple of years, but I don't think I've ever read any of his stuff. So definitely have to, rectify that soon. So the first story in the anthology is called Like Part of the Family, and it is by Jonathan Mayberry. And it's a really fun little story about a private investigator who is hired by a woman whose ex-husband is trying to kill her. And she's like this kind of, she's your typical femme fatale, model, thin, looks good, but really miserable. And her husband owns a goth bar, but he was never into the whole goth thing. But he's been, through the course of the latter part of their relationship, he started dressing darker and getting paler, and all these things are happening, and the PI knows the score. He knows what's going on here. So it ends. The private investigator goes to talk to the husband, and of course it turns out he's got a secret of his own. So that one, it's just a really fun read, and I'm definitely looking forward to reading some more of Jonathan's work. And the other story that I read in the anthology, and definitely I'll be reading more of the stories, but I just didn't have time. It's called Whispers During Still Moments by Linda Addison, and this one couldn't be more different from the PI, except there is actually a private eye in the story. So we start the story with Adina, she's an old vampire. Like she's been a vampire for a long time, although she looks about 20. And this has a lot of sort of vampire lore. So you have people who are like original vampires, and they were turned into vampires by like this magic song trick that happened. And then you have newer vampires who had been turned by these old vampires. And there's a lot of lore used as the storytelling background. So it's got this wonderful fabric of this world where Adina is this old vampire that nobody can kill, and she's not interested in, being anywhere around anybody. What I like about Adina as a vampire is she is evil. She is a bad person, and she is not ashamed of it in the least. Humans are food, and she has no sympathy. She has no empathy. She is just a killing machine. And then the other part of the story is about Chun, who is a vampire hunter, who was exposed to the blood of the old vampires, which sort of makes him not quite a vampire, not quite a human. And so he gets caught, and he's got a trainer named Nisi who showed him all the ways of the old vampires. So he knows a lot more than most people who fancy themselves vampire hunters. And so there's some really great fight scenes, and there's some really good kills in the story. And like I said, I like that the vampires are monsters. One of the things that bothers me about, a lot of vampire stories is that they try to make them, boyfriend material or romantic or angsty. I hate fangst. I think it's ridiculous and stupid. I like vampires to be monsters, and I like the vampire killers to rise up and slay the monsters, and good wins over evil in the end. I mean, it doesn't always, but those are the stories that I like the best. And that's why I enjoyed Whispers During Still Moments. I really enjoyed this world where, you know, these creatures exist. And I am definitely looking forward to reading more work from Linda Addison. And hopefully, I don't know, I'd like to read more stories that are set in this world. So the anthology is called New Blood. It's edited by Patrick Thomas and Diane, oh boy, Rates, I think. I can't read my own handwriting. My handwriting is absolutely terrible. I don't know if you can read it, but look at how bad that is. Yeah. And this is me trying to write well. So anyway, I hope you're reading lots of great horror. Have a great day.